What you will need is a computer and a program like Microsoft Word. I know Microsoft Word works. I don't know if any other programs similar to it work. And you also need a printer so you can print off the paper. So if your paper's in color, you'll need a colored printer. It's going to be in black and white like this OBX sticker. It really doesn't matter. What you want to do is insert your file or photo, insert as a photo. You know it uses JPEG files. I assume it uses some other ones. What I like to do is when you select the image, go to Format Picture, Wrap Text, Behind Text. And I like doing that so you can move them around freely. So you can copy and paste and put like 10 different ones around in 10 different sizes so you can guess around the correct sizing that you'll need for it. So then you can print it off and hold it up to your truck and guess what size you'll need. To make custom license plates, what you'll want to do is open a web browser and go to your favorite search engine. I use Google. Search license plate generator, and I like to use Acme. That's my favorite one so far. What you want to do is select the state. They have Canadian provinces and they have DC. I don't know if they have any other U.S. territories, but you'll type in whatever you want on your license plate. Let me just pause the video here. When you're doing this, if you're doing specialty ones, like the college ones for example, it'll have a logo on the left side. I don't show you here, but there'll be the logo on the left side, like they'll probably have the UCLA logo. What you'll want to do, maybe before you copy and paste it, I made this mistake when I was making mine. Before, right in front of the lettering that you put, you'll want to put a few spaces on there so it'll be a little bit more centered and more realistic. So now onto the video. And then you can select a year. Depending on what state you select, there'll be a different set of years and different specialty ones like college ones. Then you'll want to hit Make License, and then this will pop up. And then you'll want to right click it and then save it as a file. Well, save it as a JPEG file and save it somewhere. I just save it to the desktop. So when you go back to Word like I am here, go to Photo and Picture from File, it'll be easy to get to, so I don't have to remember which folder it's in and what folder it's in that folder, and it'll just be easier. And I already have one made up here. I already have this printed off and ready to put on the truck. I'm just waiting for some stuff to dry before I can put it on. I do the same thing here with the Format Picture and Wrap Text and Behind Text under the Wrap Text. And when I click on it, move it around, you can see on these rulers up in here and on the side about what size it is. I printed this off about 6 different sizes, and I got it next to a plate that came with my SCX-10 because I bought it used, and it was the correct size. So I know this is the correct size for the plate. So you can kind of see. I'll try to get as close as I can to that one, and I'll put it up to the 6 here, so you can see about what the length and width are of the size, the length and width of the plate is. You see I move it, just says left and top. That's just the coordinates for it on the Word document. So I'll go by that, go by where it is on these rulers. So now it's on to the next part. What you'll need is scissors for cutting out your logo from the paper. You can see I have it right here. I just printed it off the computer. And what you'll want is either tape, or what I use is on the packets of stickers that come with SCX-10 and my ECX Torment. There'll be the sticker sheet, and on the edges is a whole bunch of stuff of it not being used, so it'll be clear. I just cut that out and use it to mount it. You can see I did it here. You can see with some of the dirt around the edge, you can see the edges. That's the only bad thing about it. Another thing is for waterproofing it, I recommend probably every run, make sure you push down around the paper, otherwise water will get in it. And for the license plates, you want to make sure that you leave a good amount of room, focus here on it, from the plate. Otherwise, if you don't, it won't get a good seal and water will get in it. You can see this is my first one I made. I originally had it down here, a little ledge in the bumper, but
since I added all the extra edges on it, I'm going to use a 1 1/4 inch by 3/4 of an inch piece of wood that I sprayed with Plastidip. You can see here. You'll see what I'm using that for in future videos. I'm going to use some mounting tape, mount it right here, then use some double-sided tape to put this on it, so because the mounting tape that we have is like a foam, and it'll stick off really bad, and then it'll get a whole bunch of dirt around it and maybe get pulled off. So now I'm going to end up cutting this out, so stay tuned. What I recommend doing is cutting it out a really big area like I have here, right out of the paper, and so then you can cut it a little bit more precisely without a whole bunch of extra stuff bumping your hand. And I recommend doing that with the same thing if you're using the clear sticker stuff that I'm using. And also, if you're using the tape, you probably want to cut it with scissors and not just use the built-in ridges are in tape dispensers to cut it, because then it'll maybe get snagged and get dirt on it and just won't look as nice. I put the license plate in a cup of water here to show you that it's waterproof, so you're not just taking my word for it, but it is. It's been in here for about a minute, and hopefully you can see it here. But as you can tell, it's in the cup of water. You can see the water splashing here, and it's in the bottom of it. I'll pull it out here for you in a little bit and see if I can get to move around so you can tell it's in there. But it's in there, and as you can tell, the water has not gotten into it like it has on that one. So let me just pull it out here real fast and show you. Sorry, the tripod here isn't. The camera's so heavy it moved the tripod. I'll just get it out here. Nah, I'm gonna pour some of the water out well, I'll drink the water real fast. I'll get it out here. You can see I'm moving it with the scissors so I can grab it with my fingers. And as you can tell, water did not affect it at all. And like I said before, I recommend before each run pushing together around the edges, because if it'll start kind of separating a little, and if you have probably less than amount than this in some areas, this morning when I woke up I noticed that kind of came apart. So probably before each run, or every time it's going to get dunked in water, just squeeze it to make sure that water isn't going to get into it. As you can see, I have the little logo cut out. I want to make sure it's significant, about that much smaller than the clear sticky paper or tape, depending on which method you're using. So you can see it's smaller than that. As you can see, my workbench is really dusty, so I'm going to end up probably putting this on the truck off camera and then showing you the final result, because I don't want the sticky paper to get all the dirt in it and it'll look really bad. If any of you have ever tried to put a screen cover on a phone, you probably know you don't want to get hair or any fuzzies underneath the screen cover, because then it'll make a little air bubble, and I don't want that to happen on this. So most likely what I'm going to end up doing is going inside and doing it on a clean surface. But you'll want to make sure you get this paper as square as possible onto the camera's going out of focus there. What you want to make sure you do is get this as square as possible so you'll get onto the vehicle. It's a 50-50 chance if you get this on crooked and try to peel the paper off, that it'll tear the paper apart. Sorry, truck went by. I've had that happen to me once so far. I've messed up probably 2 out of the 3 logos I've already put on the truck, and I've already messed up once trying to film this, getting it on there. So that's why I say it's probably a 50-50 chance if you misplace it that it will tear the paper off and it'll be unusable. So I just recommend being super careful on that. And like I said before, make sure you put the sticker onto the paper and onto your truck, and make on a clean surface. And like this, you can see there's some wood dust on here. Like I said before, with the Plastidip, you'll see what that's all about. And you want to make sure that on your truck, I'm going to be putting it right here. It'll be as clean as possible. I rubbed my finger with it and used some soapy water on a washcloth and clean that off so there will be no mud underneath it. And the same thing here, I've gone through a little bit. I'll probably end up going through it again, so when I put the mounting tape on here, I won't get dirt underneath it and the stick won't be good. As you can see, I have it all mounted up now. It's a little crooked, but that's okay. Most bumper stickers that you see are probably somewhat crooked. I did have some trouble getting this on here. Like I said before, I had actually tore up the one I showed you before, so this is the third time I've tried to put this on. One thing I did forget to mention, when you're putting the clear stuff on, it's good to use some tweezers, because if you use your fingers, you might get your fingerprints on it. And the same thing with the laminate, the sticky on the license plate too. And make sure you push around the edges. You use your fingernail, or I figured out you can use you can see the body clip here, the curved part of a body clip. I'll show you, try to show you at least. I'll get a light here. You can kind of see that thing between the wood and the plastic. That's the gray foam mounting tape that I used. The only bad thing about that is you kind of have to let it set for a while, or don't touch it because it will not stick very well. As you can see, I can move it. It's pretty good over here, but yeah. Also, check out my Instagram, same thing, ECXTD, as you can see there, and you'll probably see what the Plastidip is for. And thanks for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe.